good to start business. Can we review and adopt the agenda?
Let me move that we adopt the agenda.
Thank you. The agenda is adopted. And I am Honorable Madisise, Vice Chair of the Special Committee.
I'm Honorable Swaibu Toure, member of the committee.
I'm Omar Jame, member of the committee.
I'm Honorable Alhaji Mbo, a member of the committee.
Thank you very much. Mr. Witness, we apologize for the late start of the business. And since this is your second time appearing before the committee, I just remind that the statement is the same, that you are summoned to help in the investigation of the sales and disposals of the assets forfeited to the state. So I did not go through the statement once more. Thank you. Yeah, and the oath remains as well. Okay. Legal counsel. So
yes,
you're good to go.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Welcome back, Mr. Colley. Considering this is your second appearance before this committee, I am hereby reminding you that you're still under oath. We can begin your testimony. But before we do, there's a few things I would like you to confirm for the committee. In your previous testimony last month, there was a few information that the committee had requested, and you informed the committee that you would go back. When you go back to your office, you would search, and especially search as well the records office of the Ministry of Justice. The first one being information and documentation with regards to the task force that was established by your predecessor after the High Court delivered its order on the 22nd day of May 2017. Yes. Have you?
Remember what the fact to produce was?
So let's change the mic first.
As far as I can recall, like to what I was asked to produce was the memo that was issued by Mr. Tal to myself, and I think the submission that I made is clear. It was whether the memo and additional documents that I may have.
Mr. Colley, before we got into the issues surrounding the memo, this was the first request. We had requested for you to provide 3 different things. The first one being documentation. You had stated that the ministry keeps or has kept its correspondences between the ministry and the commission and the High Court, that there is possibly a commission of inquiry file that would contain everything. You want us to play that part of the testimony?
You can play what I said. What I said was, when I took over the office, I did not see any file.
Yes, you stated that.
Yes.
And we had agreed that that the records regarding assets would be kept by the central registry for the ministry and not by the Registrar General's department itself.
Yes.
Yes. And you stated that you'd endeavor to find these documents, any document that is relating to this. Did you or did you not find?
Well, I was able to see maybe a couple of documents that may be of use to you.
Where are these documents?
They are here with me.
All right. Please pass it to the Secretariat. Secretariat, you can show these documents to the Honorable Chair and members of the committee first.
I think there are 2 documents. I said, okay, yeah. So, yeah, so it's fine. These are the 2 documents here. I was also asked to cancel.
Yes, please.
I was also asked to compile a list of all the properties.
Yes. Do you have that as
That
well?
one.
Hand over to Secretariat.
I submitted via email to the Secretariat.
You did.
Yeah, submitted. And it was acknowledged.
Are those documents different from this
No,
one?
they're different from this, yes.
They're different.
Yeah.
When did you submit this, please?
This was a week after I left.
Your testimony.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Thank you for providing these documents. We will get into the contents of these documents later on. You had mentioned a memo. However, this, by the way, do you have these documents that you've given us? Do you have a copy with you there? Or you can also take a look?
Yes.
All right. No problem. Okay. So these documents you provided, we would need a little bit of time, Honorable Chair, for Secretariat to make of the documents the witness has just provided for the committee, so that the committee can follow the interaction with the witness. So I'll set this aside until copies have already been made for the committee.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
So, Mr. Kohli, before we get into all the landed properties that some of which we had the last time, and the contents of the document that you just provided. Last that you were here to testify, we spoke about the orders of the High Court that the High Court delivered on the 22nd of May 2017, which froze the former president's assets and also put some of, or not some, but all his assets in the custody and control of different departments within the government, and also appointed a receiver for the companies, which was from the private sector. All immovable and movable assets owned by the former president were placed in the custody and control of the Registrar General. And at the time in 2017, Mr. Aliu Jallo was the Registrar General until you were appointed as acting Registrar General in December 2018. Yes. I'm going to show you a letter, or sorry, two letters that follow each other. You had informed this committee that following your appointment, there wasn't at any point in time where you did any work, write letters, did inventories or anything with relating to the assets of the former president.
Yes.
I used the
immovable properties.
Yes. Or before the issue of cancellation of title registration, all of that came into place. This in December 2018 to between December 2018 to March 2019, when the commission concluded its work. You had informed this committee that you did not do any work, be it writing letters, reports, or anything having any correspondence between you and the commission.
That is correct. I can't remember doing anything.
You cannot remember. But then, are you saying there's a possibility that you did?
It's possible, correspondent, but in terms of doing actual compilation or doing anything in regards to any asset.
Okay, but there's a possibility that you wrote letters to the commission?
It's possible, yes. Yes. It's a possibility. I can't remember.
Mr. Kore, I want you to give me concrete answers.
I cannot remember.
You cannot remember,
I
right?
Writing any correspondence regarding that, commission.
Even where you were written to by the commission?
No, I cannot remember.
You cannot remember receiving letters?
No.
All right. Honorable Chair, I am referring the committee to RS 59 and RS 60. Yes, please. Secretariat, can the witness be shown these two letters? Honorable Chair, if we can give the witness maybe 2 minutes to just read these two letters.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Foley, Have you seen those letters before?
No.
You've never seen
Never
those
seen
letters?
them, no.
Especially Aras 59, the one dated January 2019.
No, I've never seen it.
You've never seen that?
Never seen the document.
Who is that letter addressed to?
Acting Registrar General.
Okay, who was the acting registrar general in January 2019?
I was the acting Registrar General. I've never come across this correspondence.
Ordinarily, who would have received this letter then, if you did not receive it?
I mean, it should be sent to my office, but sometimes it passes through the records and then goes to the Solicitor General.
And then?
And then to whoever is the acting Registrar General. And then at this period, I was the acting Registrar General. I've never come across this document.
So are you telling this committee that when the ministry received this letter, it was received by records sent to the Solicitor General, and somehow, even though it's addressed to you, never got to your desk?
It's addressed to the acting Registrar General. So it's a possibility that Central Registry may have received it and sent it to us. But since we have this copy, I mean...
Sent it to who?
Solicitor General, but it was addressed to me and UFS Solicitor General. So if I don't have it, maybe Solicitor General should have it as well. So if it is UFS, that means it should pass through the Solicitor General.
What does UFS mean?
It must be received by the Solicitor before it gets to me. That's why it's UFS. Under, I don't know how it's a Latin word, like under the fairy, whatever. That means before it gets to me, it has to be endorsed by the Solicitor General, then it will get to me. So I'm sorry if it was sent to the ministry, it should be in our records.
It should be, the commission is, read out the contents of the first one. The first one was dated August 2018. I understand you were not the Registrar General at the time.
Yeah.
But just read out that letter.
Reference is invited to the above mentioned subject. I'm directed to kindly request you to update the Commission on the status of the stock carried out at Kenilai. In the event that the exercise was completed, a detailed report should be submitted to the Commission. Respectfully submitted for your kind information and necessary action.
And then the other one, the one dated January 2019.
With reference to the above mentioned subject, I am directed to remind you of our letter reference so dated 8 August, requesting you to update the Commission on the status of the stock carried out at Kenilai. In the event that the exercise was completed, a detailed report should be submitted to the Commission on Monday, 29 January 2019 without fail. Please treat as a matter of urgency. It shows that the first letter was not acted upon.
Yes, in August 2018.
Yes.
And then
Subsequently,
months later, they sent another letter,
yes.
still requesting for the same information. And now you're telling this committee that you never received.
Never received it.
So therefore, can we say that the commission never received the information it was looking for?
I'm not sure. Because this is, I can still follow up at the registry to confirm. Because the first one was directly addressed to the acting Registrar General.
Yes.
So that's why I made it for that reason. I mean, because the acting Registrar General did not act then, that's why this time the second one to follow the UFS, the Solicitor General. So it should be in our records.
It should be in your records.
So that means if it is received in the records, the SG should have endorsed it. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Colley. So please, I hope this one you don't forget. Honorable Chair, I am applying for perhaps an order for the witness to search and produce a copy of the response the Attorney General's chambers did or wrote to the Commission regarding that letter, those two letters that he is holding.
I hope he will take note.
You want both or the latest one?
Well, the first one was not replied to.
Was not, no.
Exactly, so the second one, yes.
So if I can have copies so that I can provide copies to the records, because they have a database distributed to track.
Okay, no problem. We will, at the end of your testimony, we will give you copies of that letter.
Council Board, when do you want him to produce this? I think it's better to give him a timeline.
Yes, by Monday? Yes. Is that sufficient time?
I'll be out of the jurisdiction, but I'll endeavor to do. I still have tomorrow, so if it is in our records, this way it's able to locate it.
Okay. Mr. Kohli, apart from, you can see in that letter, the Commission is requesting for stock or an update on the stock at Kanilai, right? So, apart from such an update, by the way, before I ask my question, does the Registrar General's Department have a copy of a report or an inventory of stock that was found in Kanilai?
No, we don't.
There isn't a report?
No.
Even though your predecessor did an inventory of assets that he found in Kanilai?
No, I didn't inherit any file where, a list is inside or included. So there's no such a record as far as I know.
Were you supposed to inherit a file, or it was just supposed to be handed over?
Handed over, technically yes, if I handed over.
Which you did not follow up on?
No.
The handing over?
No.
When you realized your predecessor did not hand over issues, documents, reports, just anything that was related to the assets of the former president and the Commission of Inquiry, you were just complacent and you did not say anything or request for any information?
No, I did not request for any.
Can you now see how your lack of making requests has caused certain issues?
Say it again?
I said that now, can you see that your lack of taking an initiative or endeavor to obtain all of these information from your predecessor, that it is causing some issues? For example, you cannot provide the information that this committee needs, even though you're still Registrar General and you were Registrar General then.
Yeah, I see your point, but I mean, we are all lawyers, so if you have a mandate, but you continue to act.
Sorry, you said if you have?
If you don't have a mandate, or if your mandate ceases to continue to act in a certain capacity, but you continue to do so, so whatever consequences are there, I mean, the person should be responsible. So I can only act on something that is brought to me, I mean, to my attention.
But okay, continue.
Yes, because I was not handing over. I was already given a memo to start acting as acting Registrar General. Meanwhile, my predecessor, my colleague, Mr. Jallo, was moved. But like I said, there was no file. So it didn't occur to me to follow up to ask for something that I was not sure it exists.
All right, but now that you clearly now see, like you said, you see my point, that you should have at the time taken up the responsibility. Because the commission aside, there was a standing order, or there were standing orders of the High Court. There were orders that were existing at the High Court that were specifically addressed, or were specifically addressing the Registrar General. So it did not specify the name of any individual. It states Registrar General, meaning as long as those orders were subsisting, whoever was Registrar General was supposed to take control and custody of assets of the former president. And eventually, if the commission needed any information with regards to said assets or anything relating to the order of the High Court, the commission would, like they have done, write to the Registrar General to receive information and updates.
Yes, I agree. When you have clear information that in fact there exists something that you should continue to act upon. All right. So as acting registrar, I cannot just, after my appointment, I cannot just go around searching for something that to need to act.
Yeah, but Mr. Kuli, you were aware there was a High Court order, isn't it? At your last appearance,
yes.
You were given a copy of you were shown a copy of the order.
Yes.
And you had confirmed that you were aware that before the commission was established, the Attorney General had instituted a suit and obtained orders.
Yeah.
You were also aware that after the order was delivered, your predecessor had established a task force, and you even informed this committee that you would occasionally see members of the task force at the ministry. So you already know what was going on, didn't you, before you became Registrar General?
Yes, yes.
Yes, after you became Registrar, you take up the initiative to follow up with your predecessor or even the Solicitor General, or perhaps with the AG, to gather information on the work that the task force was doing, whether the task force was still ongoing, or just any information, and then ask where you can pick up from, so that you can pick up from where your predecessor stopped.
I mean, I don't know. I could have done that, but out of caution, I didn't think it was prudent. Immediately after, before, immediately I was appointed. There shouldn't be...
Sorry, please bring the mic closer to you so that...
So immediately, I was appointed Registrar General. My colleague continued to act. I continued. So afterwards, all right, because everything should have been, transferred or handed over immediately. But if you continue to act, and later on, okay, where did you stop? All right, or to follow up to say, well, I'm supposed to do this. So I didn't see need. To me, it was not prudent to do that, because then I'll be inheriting or taking over something that I was not, repeated from the beginning. At some point, sometimes, institutional memory is important. If you start something, it's good to continue, unless there is a detailed handing over, so at least to guide you as to what you're supposed to do. So I think, then it didn't occur to me to at least request for everything to be handed over to me.
Well, Mr. Kohli, if you had received a handing over, this issue of institutional memory wouldn't have come up with it, because you would know where to continue, what your predecessor did, and where you were supposed to continue.
That is correct.
And you did not request from your predecessor. You also never spoke to the Attorney General or the Solicitor General about this?
No.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I think the testimony of my colleague, the handing over was not smooth. When I was transferred to act as acting Registrar General, it was not smooth. Because my colleague, then Mr. Jallo, was supposed to move to companies. But the then Registrar of Companies was not willing to move. All right, so there was that, back and forth, and then eventually they had to call the... it took over 3 months before he was eventually removed from the office. So there was that problem. So there was no handing over, per se. So during the period, I was acting Registrar General. Meanwhile, Mr. Jallo was occupying my office of Registrar General. I was still in my old office. So was that issue at the ministry. So we faced a lot of challenges during the period. So, yeah.
What you're explaining, it seems it's just deals with Mr. Jallo and his own predecessor in the company's registry. How does that affect handing over between Mr. Jallo?
like I said, if maybe there was a smooth transition, Mr. Jalal smoothly moved to companies, maybe then we would have maybe occurred to him to provide a handing over. But there was no handing over. I was only issue a memo to act. That's it.
So, Mr. Jallo, can we say that you really did not carry out all of your functions as Registrar General between December 2019? Sorry, between the time you took up office as Registrar General, as December 2018, correct?
Yeah,
yes. So between December 2018 to perhaps, let's say, the end of the Commission's work, which was in March 2019.
Yeah, you
can say you did not do everything you were supposed to.
Not everything.
Okay.
Especially with regards to this JANNEH Commission activities, no.
Okay. And then can we also say that you played a part in, or you would have a hand in any of the issues that would arise from your failure of acting?
No. I mean, if you
why not? I mean, you failed to execute your responsibilities according to the High Court's order. You also failed to respond to the commissions. So thereby, if the commission faced any issues and subsequently any issues that followed your lack of
my inaction,
your inaction, then therefore you played a part in it.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because if it was, I can only act when it is brought to my attention.
Well, Mr. Colley, you knew what was going on. You knew the commissioner was on. You knew there was an order. All of that, you assumed office in December 2018. You saw no handing over was done, but you still did not request for a handing over from Mr. Jallo. You did not bring up this issue with the Solicitor General or the Attorney General.
I mean, the Solicitor General then was aware of the challenges that I was facing.
Which were?
Which were urging Mr. Jallo to move and hand over or move to the companies and then hand over the responsibility of acting our Registrar General to me.
What was Mr. Jallo's inability to move into that office that he was supposed to occupy as a Registrar of Companies? How does that affect his handing over to you? Don't you think actually Mr. Jallo continuing to occupy that office in the same building as you would actually help the handing over process more? Like he was still spending time within the registry.
Like I said, it was not that smooth.
So Mr. Jallo, what not for you?
Not for both of us.
How was it not smooth for you?
Because everything was, I mean, he was continuing to play the role or mandate of the acting Registrar General.
He was?
Yes.
Okay, and what were you doing at that time?
I can only report that to the Solicitor General then.
What were you doing?
Who promised to act. So I was patient enough to follow up to say, look, I'm supposed to act, So Mr. SD, then SD would tell me, look, Mr. I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. So this took a while, over a month. So when we finally moved, then there was no handing over. So it didn't occur to me to say, okay, there should be formal handing over in order at least to inform my actions, whatever is pending, they're supposed to do as my office.
Mr. Colley, are you aware that the Commission at some point conducted sales of assets that were under the custody and control of the Registrar General?
No, I was not aware.
To this date, you are not aware the Commission conducted sales of certain assets?
Yes, eventually. At the time I was not aware, but now, of course, it's public knowledge that in fact there were sales. At
the time?
Yes.
So, let's say in January 2019, the commission conducted sales of certain assets. Were you aware?
No, I was not aware then.
In February?
No.
When did you learn that the commission sold some assets?
Well, formally, I was aware when we had convened a meeting at the ministry.
When was that?
It was recent, immediately when National Assembly passed resolution that in fact there should be this investigation. So the Honorable Attorney General convened a meeting during which senior management had that discussion. So that aware that in fact there were sales. Yeah. But I was aware then that in fact there were sales, sale of cattle, yes, another.
You were aware about the sale of cattle?
Yes,
Then?
Yes.
When it took place?
Yes.
Okay. So for sale of vehicles, were you aware? You want to say that sale of vehicles of different classes, you were not aware?
No, I was not aware.
At all?
No.
And then even after the commission concluded its work, you still were not aware?
No. I was not aware.
And all this time you were working at the Ministry of Justice?
Yes.
Mr. Coley,
Because the sales were, I think at the time they were under the mandate of the Director of Civil Litigation and International Affairs.
what was?
Mr. Binga.
What was under the director, under the
Mandate of, I think,
Mandate.
sales. Yes.
sales?
Yes,
These
sales or
assets-
transfer.
These assets were placed in the custody and control of the Registrar General,
Yes.
in your control, and in your custody and control.
The custody of the Registrar General.
Yes,
Yes.
and you were the Registrar General in February 2019.
Yes.
Yes, and you you want this committee to believe work that the commission did with regards to sale, you were not aware
No.
at all.
You see, I was aware that my colleague, Mr. Jallo then, was acting on certain activities.
Such as?
Like I say, sale of cattle. He was
Okay.
involved in it, whether he was the one directly selling, but he was involved as a team that was doing some activities
Okay.
regarding the sale.
What else was he involved in?
You mean Mr. Jallo? As far as I know, I cannot specifically say the items that they sold, but I was aware that they were selling cattle. But but for vehicles, I was not aware.
So as a staff of the Ministry of Justice, you also did not know that sales were being conducted?
No, I was not aware.
Okay. And then after sales, you hear that there are certain vehicles or tractors perhaps that were sold that needed to be transferred to new owners.
No, I was not aware. I don't know if you're familiar with the way the ministry operates. Most of the time, you may be there, but unless you come across a correspondent or someone tells you, you may not know whatever is going on there. But everything goes to the Solicitor General, and the Solicitor General will assign whoever is responsible officer to act.
Yes, but Mr. Coley, you were and still are a very senior officer at the Ministry of Justice.
That is correct.
One of the most senior officers at the ministry. You're still saying that apart from not being informed officially, perhaps maybe by the commission or you also wanted you were telling this committee that there was no way that you would have been able to learn about the sale of these assets.
No. There was no way, unless someone informs me or a letter or whatever correspondence is assigned to me to work on.
So,
And I just want to say that also at that time, there was no senior management meeting. Yes. we are not having any senior management meeting because most of the time you should be privy, at least as senior officer of the ministry, you should be aware. All right, especially maybe when we, convene the senior management meeting. But at that time, there was no senior management meeting, so.
So let me just confirm whether I really understand what you're saying. Currently, the ministry does have senior management meetings.
Yes.
How often?
Once a while. I mean, I think the last one we had was like 3 months ago.
Okay. So do we see a quarterly meeting?
Not quarterly. So sometimes, I mean, the AG, will convene a senior management meeting.
Okay.
And the running file, does not come to us. But if you look at there's a running file.
Running file for
the ministry. It's called a running file, because normally when you correspond and copy it to different file, that is, should be circulated, you go through it and familiarize or whatever. But the last time I saw the running file was a while ago. Right.
Okay, so was there a running file around in 2018, 2019?
There should be a running file, yes.
Should be?
Yes, because that's the procedure.
Okay.
That anytime so the 2 copies, will be placed in the running file.
Okay, so who convenes these management meetings?
Sometimes it's Solicitor General and sometimes the Attorney General.
Okay.
But most of the time it's Attorney General. We meet in his office. The head unit of department heads will give update as to what they are doing, where they are challenges, the course and offers, suggestions, and so that yes.
So you were telling this committee that back in 2018 and 2019, when you became the acting registrar general, there were no management meetings.
I didn't attend any, senior management meeting then with the tenure of the former AG.
Okay. Since you were appointed until the time the former AG left office, there was no management meeting.
There could be a management meeting, but I was not aware of any that I attended.
Is there a possibility that a management meeting would be convened and a director will not be informed?
Yeah, if you may be out of the jurisdiction, also it's possible. Because sometimes they just call all of us and say the senior management meeting and summon to the office of the Attorney General.
Okay.
That is possible.
All right. So if, let's say, a director is absent because they're out of the jurisdiction, would their deputy step in for them?
The deputy should step in.
Okay. So in an event where you are unavailable, you have a deputy, am I correct?
I don't have a deputy.
Oh, you don't have a deputy, no. So if you are not available, nobody steps in for the department?
No, not under from my office, not from my office.
Okay. And when you have these meetings, are minutes taken?
Yes.
And they will be signed